a brilliant shot. That's good cricket from Shan Masood. Sensible cricket.
50 for Shan Masood, right on cue.
If you ever mention Shan Masood's name in front of Pakistani cricket fans, you're most likely going to receive a mixed reaction.
Shan Masood.
Some will point to his rather average stats across formats and his family's political connections to make a case for nepotism.
अब शान मसूद का है भैया, तू T20 में 2 हाफ मारे तूने 2022 में, अब तू नजर नहीं आया, ठीक है, अब तुझे टेस्ट का बना दिया। मतलब अब्बू अगर भैया अब्बा के पास पैसे ज्यादा हैं तो क्या मतलब है तुम पाकिस्तान पे सवार रहोगे क्या? अब उनको कप्तान बना दिया है। अच्छा, वो कप्तान बना के उनकी अचीवमेंट क्या बता रहे हैं? भैया पहला कप्तान है जिसने 40 विकेट ली थी ऑस्ट्रेलिया में पहली दफा जाकर। अबे
Others will point to his educational background, tactical acumen, and commitment to fitness to justify his position as Pakistan's Test captain.
Decision board ने कुछ सोच समझ के लिए और I think it's a very good choice. He's a very good lad और वो यॉर्कशायर का भी कप्तानी कर चुके हैं, डोमेस्टिक में भी कप्तानी कर चुके हैं। तो I'm sure ऑस्ट्रेलिया का टूर बहुत टफ है, लेकिन I hope कि इन्होंने 2025 तक जो बनाया है, हम टेस्ट चैंपियनशिप का फाइनल खेलें उसकी कप्तानी।
But where does the truth really lie? Is Shan really the man to take Pakistan cricket forward? Or is he a nepo baby who symbolizes everything wrong with Pakistan cricket? In today's cricket tape, we take a deep dive to find out for ourselves. Shan Masood spent most of his early life in England, where he also earned a degree in economics from the University of Durham. His interest in cricket stemmed from his father, a reputable banker and an avid sports lover who had himself played hockey at the provincial level.
वालिद आपके हॉकी प्लेयर हैं, तो आपका कैसे प्लान बन गया अंडर 19 तक कैसे पहुंचे?
Cricket, I think, उनका शौक था हमेशा.
Mansoor Masood Khan would also become a member of the governing board of the Pakistan Cricket Board in 2014, coinciding with Shan's early days in the Pakistan Test team, bringing with it the nepotism tag that Shan would struggle to shake off throughout his career.
आपके वालिद क्योंकि पीसीबी गवर्निंग बॉडी में भी थे, was it a disadvantage or an advantage कि आपके फादर क्रिकेट बोर्ड पे थे?
I think personally a huge disadvantage.
Shan would make 75 on his debut in his first innings against South Africa, but would be out for a duck in the second.
Very promising.
Pattern of inconsistency that would go on to become a hallmark of his early career.
Sliding on as it hit.
The defining knock of these early days would come in 2015, when he would score a brilliant 125, partnering Pakistan's greatest test batsman Yunus Khan as he chased down a record 377 against Sri Lanka at Palakili. However, the next few years saw him in and out of the side as he was unable to live up to his early promise. By 2017, he was dropped from the test side, having made just 4 50-plus scores across 24 innings while averaging only 22. To Shan's credit, he took the early setback in his stride and would go back to domestic cricket determined to improve his technique. And improve he did, scoring a mountain of runs across formats that would see his first class and list day averages cross 40 and 50 respectively, in addition to a T20 100. Called back to the team, he would go on to get 250-plus scores against South Africa, his first outside Asia.
After getting some runs in the first innings as well.
He looked much more assured on this tour against the short ball, and this would kick off something of a golden period for Masood, as he would go on to hit 3 centuries in successive matches, culminating in a brilliant 156 against England at Manchester. However, once again, this proved to be a false dawn. He was out for a duck in the second innings and wouldn't cross 50 again for 15 innings across 3 years, a horror run that included 3 successive ducks against New Zealand. During this lean patch, Shan would return to the domestic scene, but this time in county cricket for Derbyshire, where he would get his first taste of captaincy. Here, he would be reunited with coach Mickey Arthur.
Just looking forward to it, excited to see Mickey.
And would go on to score a mountain of runs, helping Derbyshire climb up from the bottom of the table. So impressive was his stint there that Shan became a man in high demand on the county scene, eventually signing for Yorkshire, who were caught in the middle of a racial discrimination fallout and needed an image rebuild. Here, he would once again do very well while captaining England stars like Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow. He would also taste success in the shorter format, taking South Punjab from a bottom-of-the-table side to the final of the National T20 Cup in 2020, and also topping the table with Multan Sultans in the PSL in the same year.
That's the most incredible moment.
What makes these achievements impressive is that both of these teams were considered to be weak and made up of players rejected by the other sides. He continued to be a success of the franchise under Mohammad Rizwan's captaincy in the following seasons, even earning himself a call-up to Pakistan's 2022 T20 World Cup squad, where he would go on to top score in losing causes against India, Zimbabwe, and even England in the final.
They are champions
After
of the world.
Pakistan's underwhelming showing at the 2023 ODI World Cup in India, a complete captaincy overhaul would take place, with Shan being appointed Test captain for the series in Australia.
It's an honor, it's a privilege कि पाकिस्तान के लिए सिर्फ खेलना, जहाँ तक पाकिस्तान को लीड करने की opportunity आई है, I'm extremely grateful.
At this time, the decision did not go down well since Masood had only scored 150 in 9 innings since his comeback to the team. However, he would enthusiastically take on the notoriously thankless task of captaining Pakistan and Australia. To his credit, he emerged from the tour with his reputation enhanced, scoring 250s where even Babar Azam couldn't get one, while playing an attacking brand of cricket both as a batsman and a leader, getting close to almost ending Pakistan's near 3-decade wait for a win down under. But, as has become a recurring theme with Shan's career, momentum continued to elude him, with a stinging first home defeat to Bangladesh, amplified by the fact that he had declared the first innings with 2 set batsmen at the crease, and gone in without a spinner on a pitch where Bangladesh's spinners picked up half their wickets. So, now that we've covered his career, it's time to dive into what Shan actually brings to the table as a captain. Number 1, he's fit. One of the fittest cricketers in the side, and someone who can set high standards for a team that has very publicly fallen behind the curve on this front. Number 2, he's educated. In fact, in addition to his economics degree, he's also studied management and sports science.
I think I learnt a lot because with England, I initially went to school and I found out that school cricket over there was of great standard.
Now, it's no secret that Pakistani cricketers usually aren't the best educated. The familiar sight of Inzi speaking at press conferences lives long in the memory and is still memed to this day.
It goes to the boys, is really played well.
That being said, some of the most successful Pakistani captains have been the ones who had got the benefits of a high-quality education. Going back to the days of A.H. Kardar to Imran Khan and even Misbah-ul-Haq, these men seem to have the brain power to take the right tactical decisions at the right time, leading to success on and off the field. With an increasing focus on data and tactics, a sharp mind is a prerequisite to compete at the top level with the big three and the rest of Sina. Number 3, his captaincy resume is impressive. Even though gold has eluded him, he has shown a knack of taking teams that are weak on paper and consistently improving their fortunes under him. Working with top coaches and captaining players like Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow in county cricket means that he has observed philosophies like baseball up close. Now, all this sounds good on paper, but there's a problem. And that problem is Shan's own batting. There is no real way of sugarcoating an average of 28 after 34 matches as a top-order batter. It is in fact the lowest of any Pakistani top-order batter to have played at least 50 innings. And what this means is that each time Pakistan lose, Shan's own performances will immediately come under the scanner. To implement any philosophy, let alone something close to baseball, you need to lead by example, like Ben Stokes, who was already a national icon before baseball. Now, Shan has tried to do that. His performances in the Australia tour certainly had a baseball-esque strike rate of close to 80, but he still needs a defining innings and a consistent run of scores to release the pressure on himself and establish his credibility. He also needs a buy-in from the team, a strategy that is backed by the board, and also some credit in the bank from the fans, all of which look very shaky at the moment. So, what's the verdict? It's no secret that Pakistan cricket does feel like it needs an overhaul, and it's probably safe to say that Babar Azam isn't going to be the man to do it. That being said, let's also admit that Shan the batsman will never be as naturally gifted or as pleasing on the eye as Babar is. We probably won't see him ranking on the top of the batting charts, and you won't find people watching highlights of his cover drive. But does this mean that he can't make a great captain? History tells us otherwise. You don't need to be the best player to be captain. The extreme example of this is England's legendary captain Mike Brearley, who was in the team almost exclusively for his captaincy skills. Despite the fact that he debuted at the age of 34 and averaged only 23 without a century, he is regarded as England's greatest ever Test captain, losing only 4 out of 31 matches. Now, emulating Brearley might be a stretch for Shan, given he's already lost his first 4 matches as captain. But Shan's best bet might be to try and emulate another Englishman, Nasser Hussain. Hussain was never the best batsman from a technical perspective, and like Masood, he had his own ups and downs in form. But as a captain, he changed England Test cricket forever, taking them from the bottom of the rankings to a force to be reckoned with. Shan's challenge, though, is that the national mood at this time is unforgiving. Pakistani fans are disillusioned with cricket. They hardly have patience for their top stars, let alone a man with the lowest average in history. And the only way to fix that is by performing consistently, at a level that he has been unable to achieve throughout his career, and which, being close to 35, is going to be even harder with his prime already behind him. Otherwise, he will always need to be looking over his shoulder, especially with Mohammad Rizwan's impressive domestic captaincy record and his by now established reputation as Pakistan's man for a crisis, as well as the continuation of vice-captain Saud Shakil's golden run of form. Most importantly, he will need actual results to prove that the idea of Shan Masood, the fit, smart and aggressive captain, actually has the substance needed to transform the fortunes of a team that finished 7th in the last World Test Championships. So, what do you think? Can Shan transform Pakistan's fortunes and lead them back up the rankings? Or will his own inconsistency with the bat undermine his efforts? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time with more cricket tapes.